Well, good afternoon. It's VindaCator here from iPlayMore.com. Quick reminder, go to YouTube and subscribe to us there. Follow me on Twitch. Make sure you go to iPlayMore.com, sign up for our video game test of Thunder. Thunder the Throne Wars is the game we're making, and I am the CEO of the company, and the designer of the game, and the producer. Game takes place right here. You might know this place, this Milky Way galaxy. And if you head down the Carina arm, you can see the stellar jewel box nebula NGC 3603. NASA took a picture, looks like this. And then we put our little planet Nebulous Prime there. And if you zoom in on that, this is some concept art for the layout that we got. It's starting to get a little dated. We're making a lot of progress on Intrepid and Excalibur, thanks to the hard work of our team. We've got everything kind of planned out, and we just need to do it. And so again, today, still showing Bear Isle. Looks like we're going to end up scrapping that, just because things have progressed so far, but not that I have to show you today, though. But so in our game, we have a metagame, which is a game that takes place over top of the game. So winning and losing arenas actually matters because you're winning and losing territory. And you can see here the Brood are coming over. They've won 16 games. The Kin have won 14. So this land has become taken over by the Brood. This is what it looks like when it's neutral, 12 over 12. And this was done by a professional map maker to show us what Bear Isle will look like. Now, we did the original plan. We had the Kin Castle over here, the Brood over here, and it just turned out to be way too big. So we ended up moving the Brood up to here, and then you can see our paths here and things like that. So this is what we've got happening in Unreal. A little bit of a zoom in on the play area. So this is what we call an outdoor arena where the game takes place. And devices. And I'm very excited. So what happened is Kang put in a feature to stop the game from crashing, and it stopped my left and right mouse firing from happening. It worked on his side, it worked for Henrique, but it didn't work for me. So I am definitely the bug finder. If there's a problem, I will find it and trip over it. And so we spent all morning getting that working. So it's working today. I'm very excited about that because now I've got my Alt-Fire audio working. So that's a big breakthrough, I guess you'd say. Anyway, so this is our Kadesh, or red energy. So the energy here, and then the Stingray, the Wolverine, and then the shield that protects you from that. And then our Havalair, or blue energy. So there's the energy there, and the two devices, the Hog, the H2O, which fires water on one side and ice on the other. There was a request because people were having a hard time shooting players that were fast, and so they said make a minigun. So this is going to be our minigun. And then the blue shield, and then we've got a sample of our Dark shield. So that is a dark energy, and so that's the energy there. The device, which is called an Agony. Now this has a very special right click. I'm not going to really talk about it too much here, but that is going to be a major gameplay feature in our game. Anyways, the right click there. And then on this side of the shield is the Dark protection, and on this side of the shield is the Shellette. So here's the Shellette energy and the device. And then we've got our rare devices, so rare energy, which this will work. You can tap this on any device. So if you run out of energy, you can tap this. So it's a little more available. These guys are not available on start. You're going to have to go find them. Maybe I'll show you some of those secrets today. And then your core shield that protects you from everything. And it's rare. All this stuff is rare. It's not you're not going to see it often, but very powerful. And our spider. So that's something that we'll end up rigging. We're still kind of talking about how that's going to be done. Our Komodo, which is rigged, and animation has begun. So he actually looks really cool running. He runs very fast, which is part of our cinematic. Our vertical slice cinematic, I should say. And this this has been rigged too. And this fellow has actually joined the team, so we're very happy about that. Welcome to Daniel, our new rigger. And so yeah, Ryan's already setting that up for the bat to be hanging up in the tree and hanging upside down, of course. That is a foxhead fruit bat. It's a real creature, so we didn't make that one up. And here is our Lagger Princess. Now, I got a message from Russell that he's like, so sorry I didn't get this done. I'm like, I completely understand. You know, we still have delays going on with financing and things like that. Although it's the more that happens, the more it seems that we're going to be able to diversify. So it's probably in the end going to be a very good thing that that's happened. So anyways, here's some pictures. Mostly this is all about her gear, not her skin. Obviously, she has no hair. I told him I want Farrah Fawcett hair, and he's like, oh, that's going to be hard to do. And I'm, yeah. But you can see the leather work here. So anyways, he says ignore the skin and the hair. But man, I'm just loving the leather work there. All right. And there's her brother. So he needs a lot of work. That's still very early stage. And they don't have eyes when he does them. So, and there is the Lagger sword. That's what the prince will be carrying. And then on the brood, we got Uriel. So he's coming along. Let's gotta go into Zoran's texture system next. So Tony did him up. So it's got a little bit more to do to finish him up. And then on the kin side, Zachriel in the game. So Zach's gonna be updated, and he's gonna be our main character in our vertical slice cinematic. So we're gonna get an updated model for that. So, boy, we got lots to do. This is a mock-up I made of our potential end menu for the game. And so I try to mock it up with the throne in the background. And now everybody's saying that we have to sit on the throne. We can't stand on the throne. So it's like, all right. So that'll be something that happens. It's not a high priority, but we'll get to that. And then we feature the 2 top players on either team. And then everybody else, 16 on 16, so that's what the menu shows. And then this all has to be redone. This is just artwork that has to be redone. And this shows everything from, how many wins you've had, how many people you put in the pits, if you've defended, if you've assisted, if you've got an impressive and accuracy, how many people you put into pods, how much bounty you've collected, your excellence, your ports, that's banishing people. Hold on a second, didn't we already say that? Pitted and ports. Port to pit and pitted. Gonna have to think about that one. I think those are the same. Anyways, let's see, this one's got... It's got a line. I'm gonna have to think about that. I did this design, boy. This is from the first prototype is where I pulled all this stuff from, so this is pretty old. And then capture, but all these images are very ancient. There's just things I mocked up myself. And then, so talking about the score here, what's going to happen with the scores, it's going to pop up at the end of the game, and then you're going to see how many team points you got, how many bonus points you got, and I think bounty and things like that will be bonus points. And then that all will go chicka 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 and run like a machinima into your XP. So that's a formula we use: score plus team plus bonus equals XP. And then this is the chat, but this is all just mock-up stuff, so all subject to change and perfection. And this is our market exchange. I've mocked this up, so this is basically where you can go do a search for the kind of gear that you want for your specific character and decide what you're going to buy. And then if you click on your storage here, you're going to come to your wealth storage. So that's what the chest is in the game. You just walk up and your items are there. So you've got all the gear that the character's wearing. So I redesigned this, trying to put it all together. So it's the image of your character and the gear that you've got. So as you put it on, you'll see it come on and off. And so we've already got that working basically, not in the game yet, but working. That's how we're designing the characters. And as your devices level up, your slots will open up, and that'll give you more storage space. You start with this many, or you can purchase more and open up more tabs. If you're more of a gamer who wants to get into making the money. Because our game's better than free to play, but we have a really awesome setup for people that get into purchasing things. And then this is your little mouse over, so it's going to give you a little information on what's in your slots, all that kind of stuff, what the value of your item is. And then this is much advanced stuff. I just made up a bunch of titles here just to show what it's about, but we'll get to that later on. Now I'm going to have some more of these come in. Zoran's working on getting all this stuff done. Robin, the art director, is working on some things too. So Suyel's earrings, necklace, and rings, and then Henrique's modeling those up. Zoran just needed help because there's a lot to do on these characters. So, but Suyel's coming along great. You see here in a second here. And so I'll have another board like this up for hers. So basically what the idea is that for 6 weeks, we will offer this equipment and then it's gone forever. And so the only way to get any of this stuff is to buy it on the marketplace from other players. So that's the design. And you can see here it says that you're going to save $40 by buying a package deal. And you're going to earn that back when you sell the individual items to other gamers. So, and why are they going to buy? Well, because, for example, these 3 items, the shirt, the pants, and the boots, are all... It's so funny. We've been talking about this all weekend and I forget what the word is. All cosmetic items, that's the word. And I guess cosmetic is not a word that guys usually use. And so you need all this other stuff. You don't need the crown, but everything else is nice to have. You don't necessarily need the wings. We do have a freedom power-up, but it's a little bit of a pain, and it's on a timer. So this would give you the freedom to fly whenever you want, which is nice. And so you can see a lot of players running around without these 3 items because it's just too expensive for them as a free player getting a game salary to afford all of this stuff, or are they going to be going to debt? So you're going to find people buying an item or two just to balance it out and so they don't look like noobs. And here's the concept art. And again, done by a very professional concept artist. Done by a junior concept artist, but they both go through Zoran, so they are going to be very consistent. All right. So here is Suyel's pants in the game, and you can see here that they are kind of a darker green, so still very performant. And then you got the Paragon characters. I wonder if Epic's even aware of this, but this is what's happening with the Paragon characters. You can see that they are in the bad. So, at least they're not extremely bad, but they are bad. So that just means that it's going to affect your game performance. And the stuff Zoran's doing for us is not. So it's absolutely amazing. We don't have that in the game yet. So there's Suyel's full set of armor, and ta-da! So he sent me a video today. I didn't really have time to include the video in this presentation just because everybody thinks they can send me things at 2 minutes to 3. So I just took a quick screenshot of her in there. So doesn't look quite like that yet, but that's how it will look in the game. So, but that is in the Unreal Engine, so we're getting there. All right, so here's a movie poster that Henrique did up, just showing our first 4 characters. And we just kind of wanted to see what it looked like in a movie poster. It's like, see the movie poster. So he did that up. And then Adrienne, she did up the fountain area with the reeds in the water and the old trees over top of the building, just to show that that building's been there a long time. And we've got a team of writers coming on, so we'll figure out all the story behind that. So it's funny because the art director's like, well, if there's trees growing on it, it's been there for a long time. I go, yeah. He's like, oh, okay, good. So, anyways. Now, yeah, okay, let's keep going. All right, so Jeff did this up. So this is our layout for Intrepid, so our first map that we're going to be doing. And we're going to be doing a vertical slice from about here through the fountain to underneath the land bridge here. And then we're going to do some cuts. And then got a few things. Because the game's called Thunder Throne Wars, I definitely wanted to show a throne, so we did that at the end. And then I just felt that there needed to be a resolution shot too, so we've put that in. So we just have a very rough storyboard right now. The writers will go at it, write the story, and then we'll re-storyboard all of that stuff to match, and then we'll do it. And so we also have a new level designer that's joined, and we've had a couple meetings. And so we kind of, he wanted to just do kind of cinematic stuff with cameras and stuff, and I'm like, no, this has got to be playable multiplayer on the server. We want to get everybody in here. That's kind of the priority. We need to start testing the game. So we're going to have the Kin Castle here, the Brood Fortress here. Those will come in later, and then that will make this a playable area or map of the game. So the first one where we'll be able to bring people in multiplayer. So I know I've been talking about multiplayer forever, but little did I know how complicated it is to pull it off. So it's just that when we made our first prototype years and years ago, it was multiplayer from day one. So I never thought that going to Unreal would be so complicated, but it sure is. But the good news is that we're set up on Amazon Web Services. We are set up with GameLift, and Amazon owns that now. And that's the same things that Epic did with their Fortnite game. And so we're going to be doing a very similar setup because it's proven with the game engine, and that's where our multiplayer will take off. So at least we know that. And the other thing is we need to go to 422 to do the terrain textures, because that is the first version of the engine that works with our new terrain. James did it up, our new terrain texture system, and there won't be any tiling. So that's when you see a texture pattern repeated, and so that has been repaired. So this is awesome. The other thing about 422.3, I'm trying to say 2 TOO. We're going to go to 422.3 just to be clear. Is that they have real-time ray tracing in the game. Now, it's funny because it's called real-time, but it's not real-time in gameplay yet. So that's coming. But if you have the newer 2000 series video cards, and supposedly there is an update for the older video cards that'll do it, you can do real-time ray tracing on our high-resolution screenshots, and then we can output that for television. So we can output that kind of quality, movie level quality with real-time ray tracing. So that's where this is all going. We've got the writers. We're going to start writing some spec scripts and figuring out our arc for our first episode, or our first pilot. And it's really cool because I interviewed another writer, and we're talking about going to Netflix, and Netflix just had a terrible quarter. They're losing money now. I mean, they're just not at the level of growth that they thought they were. So he suggested going to Amazon first, and now I'm thinking, what a fantastic idea, just because we're so deeply tied to them on other levels. So that's kind of great, with multiplayer and their server system, which is the best in the world. So that's where we're going to go. All right. So here is a early concept image for what Brood Fortress is going to look like. Kind of looks like a sleeping dragon. And Norn did this up. I'm still showing this because I just still this is so powerful. So you can imagine here that our castle is going to be here. And people forget that I'm broadcasting at this time. Getting a phone call. Anyways, so put the castle here and still have some sort of the towers and things like that. And then here is the water. So you're going to see another concept artist rendition here of a Kin Castle for Intrepid. Now the criticism is that this looks very Egyptian, and really it shouldn't. The character that owns this is not Egyptian. And instead of having the waterfall go down the front like that, we're going to have the waterfall happen like this. This just looks so much better. And the whole idea was to have a throne pit, you'll see in the game that there's a place that you can fall down by the throne. And so we want to keep that idea. Even though it's a throne room now, we want to have this kind of open area that you can fall down into. All right. And so our cinematic for the vertical slice has our little marmoset, because that's one of the characters, the NPCs that are in that area. And so here is the model. Nothing new to show on this week, but it's coming along. Wade's going to have this done for next Friday, and then we'll rig him and we'll begin to animate him for the scene. And then Adrian, she did a whole bunch of concept art for us for our vertical slice. So you can see there's the fountain there. You can see the kind of the kin area, and then the brood area. Actually, this would be brood area here, even though she's got a nice plant. I didn't mention that before. And then the same sort of thing here. And they just keep, she just gets better and better every time she does it. So lots of trees on the kin side, and then stumps and stuff for the brood. And the cool thing about this is if you're going uphill and it's lush and green, you know you're going to the kin. And if you're going downhill and it's all cut down and dead trees and things like that, dry riverbeds, you know you're heading for the brood side. So that's the idea. And then in our cinematic, Zach's going to come in here. He's going to fight Suiel. And he's going to come back out here. He's going to come to the land bridge, and then he's going to meet the Komodo dragon. So then we're going to end the flow of the cinematic there just to kind of give you a little bit of a lift. You can see here the brood have blocked this. You can see it a little better here. They don't want water on their side. And you can see it really good there. So there we go. Now, this is actually in Unreal. So this is some stuff that we've got done. You can see the fountain. I think we've got an updated version of that. We've got to do some smoothing here. You can see the fountain here. I'll just point out the fountain to everyone. There's the fountain there. This is where the brood is going to be. From the sky, you can see the brood here, where the fountain is. Where the fountain is. You see the river going down, which joins the different arenas. There's the fountain there. So once you keep your eye on the fountain, you kind of tell where we are, and match it up with that map that I showed in the beginning, because this is exactly the same. This is the Abyss Island, and that'll have arenas on it. This is Bear Isle, and then just a little bit of roughness that he's put into. Marcel did all this up. A little bit of roughness into some of the other arena areas. I believe this is a river here. And then the Marmoset stuff. So we got lots of updates to get to you. Stuff is looking a little bit dated now. And I think the other thing is the textures we got to use in the new system here. So we need to update to 422 and then get all these. I think we got 4 master texture systems. One for level, one for characters, one for objects, and one for vegetation. So all that needs to come into play. Another view of the fountain. You can earn mana, which is a currency, a real currency in our game, by being active in Discord. So there you go. Make sure you go to iPlayMore.com and sign up for a video game test of Thunder. All right. So here is in the game engine. Now, I just noticed today that there actually is a thing that makes the light brighter at night. And I made the whole light brighter everywhere. So I did some changes. I haven't tested any of this yet. Now, the good news is that my devices should function today. So let's just jump in here. So I'm going to Alt-P, turn on my camera, wave hello. All the music you're hearing is from our video game, so it's all mastered, ready to go, 46 songs. And I think what we're going to do with the television script that we're going to do is we'll do some parts of music videos, so that'll be part of the show. And then what I'll do, we'll have it kind of low volume like this, and maybe characters will talk over it or whatever. And then I'm going to cut those parts out and then put the music together with it and turn it into a music video, give some of the product. So just an idea right now. So here we go. So I haven't been able to show this yet. So when you use your claw, and this is your base device, and you turn it on, it pulls you forward, but it also gives you a little bit of a shield. Now let's just hit G so we can see our gesture here. I'll turn Zach around to the camera. Now when I push right click, it's his whole body, and he can walk forward, and then it ends, and then I'll get a sound that's it's returning, and that means it's ready to use again. There's the shield. So it just gives you a couple ways when you're banished to the pit, because you have no shield and one shot is going to banish you, and it's just a way for you to survive that pit. Now all the devices now, so there's a left click and a right click, so I got different audio on each. Now these devices are not set up correctly yet, we still got lots of work to do. I also changed the clouds a bit. I can hear that things are really loud in my headphones. So this is the Stingray. So I can put some stingers out, or I can do a bouncer. I can also take bouncers and ignite stingers, which is kind of a cool feature. And I got the hog. So it'll shoot, and then right click. So each has its own sound. Those are all subject to change. A lot of that is placeholders. A lot of it's from our first game. I just threw all that stuff in. All right. So it's so funny. I was like showing the game to people. People wanted to know the gameplay. And I came in here and the capture was all wrong. And I'm like, what's going on? So Kang said, he's like, well, the lead programmer wanted to change the way it was done because it wasn't done in an optimized way. Like, okay. So anyways, he worked on all that, thank God. So I think everything should work. We might crash today, I don't know, but we'll see. That's why I'm here. All right. So, all right. So it's all working. Yeah, that capture is slower now, but I think we're going to leave it like that because your whole team's supposed to be capturing. So. Come on, Zach, have any capture it? Maybe I missed it. I probably missed it. So you should have captured by now. All right. So these guys don't like the standing on the throne thing. So we're going to do some automated. All right, Zach. Oh, yeah, he's... Okay.
Prince of Thunder.
So there's another issue right there. Skid is a red throne. It should be a blue throne because they captured first. So it's another little issue. So we've got the pep rolling down the path. I've done my best to make sure it doesn't go in the ground. It seems like we have to have a lot of little nodes placed for the hem because this is a curved path and they're following a straight path. So I can see it's floating a little. It's not too bad though. I think that's acceptable. But why is there only one on the path? There should be a whole row of them. I think I got this kind of fixed up here. We'll just watch for it. So that's going to bump up. Yeah, it kind of jumps up a little early. And it's going to disappear. Boom. So they're supposed to come down and pool. But, yeah, we'll figure that out. All right, so... Okay, so basically the objective of the game is to capture your own throne. Robin really liked when I said it's like capture the flag. It is. That's where I got the idea. Except you capture your own throne. I'm just going to change my field of view here so we can see what just happened. Oh. That's not what's supposed to happen. Okay, so you can see there that my device, which was, I believe, 888 before, has now been leveled up to 1443, and it's slowly, because all devices slowly fill up. And if I roll my mouse wheel, and that's another thing we want to fix. You can see in the center, you can see that I've got the fountain. That no longer has green on it, it's water. So there we go. Okay, so now that we've got devices working, let's go get him off the throne. So this is just me playing in the editor, 2 players on 1 computer. We don't have any of our master texture systems working in here yet, and they won't. I mean, that's not they're all made for 422.3 and our multiplayer system. I shouldn't say all, but generally that's where we're going with it. And so this is going to perform a little laggy because we have textures on everything. We're not using any master. So it's all art. And what we're moving to is a procedural programming system, which is going to be great. And I did play with the clouds a little bit. You can see there's a couple different levels. I kind of tried to space them out a little bit more. I've never played with that stuff. I'm just too busy doing everything else. So anyways, I'm going to come up here. Hey, where's he going? Why is he walking by himself? Now, we don't have proper animation on these characters yet. I can't get him. It's good. This is good. It shows how difficult this is. I just need to touch him. I think. Unless that's been broken. I'm going to try pushing backwards. Oh no, he's going forwards. This is very interesting. I'm about to give up here. Oh, he's going to fall in the pit. This is the throne pit here. Alright. We're going to forget about Balaam right now. It's just because there's no player controlling him, so... Okay, that was... I'm just going to take his throne here. Oh. So this... I think this is another bug. Why do I have this throne? It says it's captured by Brood. I'm obviously kin, and I can't capture the throne. So there's a bug there. Okay. We'll address that. Okay, so I'm just going to show this right now. So there's something I could do. Put some stingers on that throne. Oh, they don't last long enough. We might have to change that. The reason we have them short is they do affect performance. But that's really not long enough. Oh, see, he's actually still on the throne. That's why I couldn't capture it. Alright, that was a very strange bug there. Oh, see, now I can capture it. Okay. Of course, this is easy because he's not running around. Bye-bye. I can't even see him. Let's go see where he went. He is way up in the sky. So that's what stingers do. They have there's a little bit of a delay. They say you've been stung.
King of Dominations.
Alright, so in the gameplay, Zach has done a few things here. He's captured his own throne. He's become the prince. He has raced to the fountain to get there first with 2 throne energies. That's created a stronghold. Then he's taken the enemy throne here. Is that getting quieter when I go away? That's really loud, that standby. So that's a little thing for me to fix. So everything just sounds louder in my headphones. Anyways, so he's taken the enemy throne and he's become king. He owns 2 thrones. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to do a little... This is a little trick that I've figured out. And so with Balaam standing here in the circle, he's going to capture this throne. We're going to just switch over to Zachariel here. I don't know why he's loading here. Okay, so Zach's going to jump down here. He's going to grab return. So you push your over button, you select return, you push enter. And now he's returned. He's going to switch to his claw. hit the wall there. Now all Zach needs to do, now Balam's capturing his throne right now. All Zach needs to do is touch his throne.
The kill.
All right. So Zach has achieved an empire. You see his crown. It's actually the king's crown. So we got a little bit of crown work to do, but that's all for design and development later. So we just have one. So we're just using the one right now. But this is just a prototype, very early stage. And so basically what happens is when he touches that, he becomes the emperor. So Zach is now the emperor. I don't think the score is going to show that. No, we haven't figured that out yet. But he's the emperor, and that's his throne of power, and we've reduced the whole game to one throne. Why did we do that? Because if you have two objectives in the game, it's very convoluted. And we start that way just to make it balanced, but then Zach captures that. Now if we go back over to Balaam, you can see he's standing in the circle, but his throne is out of power, so it's out. Now just because it's out doesn't mean that he can't do anything with it. He can still push T, he can still push D, and push left mouse, and place a lightning throne. So that's what this is here. You can see the energy's coming to it. So it's going to place a bunch of thrones here. You don't have to worry about obstacles. It'll just teleport right through them. Now you're not going to be able to do this fast. We're doing a little cheat here, which is I don't have to use throne energy. Otherwise my video would be 3 hours long instead of 1. Alright, so we've got him here. So Zach is over here on his side. And he's going to go meet him. So same thing, push T, push D. Now you can place thrones any configuration you want. Complete freedom. There's no lanes here. Somebody came to my stream and was like, this is a MOBA killer. Well, I hope we can take that market over. That'd be great. But this is not a MOBA. It's not what it's about. But first-person shooter. And as I'm placing these thrones, you can see I'm placing all these thrones. I am gaining all of those throne powers, but only for 2 minutes. So the way to think about it is the first-person shooter aspect of our game is wide open. And the RPG element of the game. Okay, Ultimate Throne Wars. That means our thrones have met. I'm going to push Enter. You see what's happening there?
Ultimate Throne Wars.
Okay, so I'm just going to take a device, shoot the enemy. As I shoot him, watch, see my scores going up equal to the damage I'm producing. I'm using left and right. Actually, I guess you can tell that now with the audio, so great. Okay, so now how did I do that? How did I usurp all of his thrones? You see all his red thrones are now blue? I did that because I have more points than he has. So the whole game, these characters are the angelic order of domination. So I've made the whole game about that dominating. I go to his last throne here. I place my crown on it, as you can see, and then I want to place a throne towards his energy icon.
Dominations.
All right, so now his energy icon is vulnerable. I can shoot at it with elemental throne powers and devices. Now, if you use freedom and you use the opposite shot, you can kind of deal with that recoil. So right now I'm pushing away so I can push towards. So there's another bug. I can hear the freedom sound when it runs out, and I pause that, so that shouldn't be running. We'll get that cleaned up. So here's the brilliant thing about this. Yeah, that should stop it. There we go. Here's the brilliant thing about this. As you notice, we've just started another game. There was no load. The game loads once. Got the sun setting over there. That's just gorgeous. All right. So let's do the opposite thing this time. Let's have the brood go first. It's so nice to do this without any crashing. Claw seems to be moving a little slower now, so we'll have to just think about that. Alright, let's get Balaam up here. Capture his throne, if I can get... Oh my goodness. Starting to see why that automatic sitting thing's going to be great. So I think we'll just have people walk up and then just... It'll take over, but you'll still have full... I don't like when programming takes over and you don't lose control of your character. Alright.
Prince of Thunder.
So definitely want to pick those things up. That's rare shield, so it's only going to spawn every 2 minutes. So again, we're going to show banishing now. Alright, so we're going to go back over to brood. And away he goes. Zippity-doo-dah.
The king. Prince of Thunder.
Those are recoil devices, so it makes it very easy to move. So I'm going to whip over this. Oh, I was too fast. Too high. Try it again. There we go. So you can see I've turned that to lava. So that's a brood stronghold now. Pick up a Wolverine here. That's a recoil device as well. And it's got... So if I right click... Boy, so the right click sounds a little quieter. It's funny because in the speakers it sounds just fine. It's got pep on the path, but we need to increase that. Oh, you know what I want to do? So I'm going to come down here first before I banish him. And this is another way that I find bugs too, is when I push things to the extreme. Alright, so I'm just going to push G. What's going to happen in the game is there's going to be a gesture, so he's going to be dancing or whatever. We're going to do some custom animations for this. But when I'm gesturing, that's how all the power-ups show up. I'm just pushing G over and over again. Of course, your whole team's going to be doing this, and these are not going to be just here. It's going to be falling from the sky and randomly all over the play area. So there's no, you can't just come here and camp this out and wait 2 minutes for that to show up. That was just freedom, but these are the that we really want. Alright, so I've got all the power-ups. Alright, let's just do it. Let's do it here. So because Balaam has the stronghold, Zach has the find on his screen. You'll just have to trust me, it's under my head. I'm not sure how far we got on that. So, okay, let's just switch back over to Balaam. So I'm rolling the mouse wheel just to see. Okay, so he's got 60% rare. All right, so let's go show a secret. So that's fine. Actually, you know what? We're going to use red today. Now I'm just going to get him started here. Of course, this is going to be hard to do because the guy won't be just standing there taking it. All right, so he's gone. I'm going to come down here and get a Wolverine. Oh, I see how it works. The two reds are together. Cool. Where did he go? Uh-oh. We lost Balaam. So we're going to do a couple things to make it easier to see. One of the things that we're going to do is there's going to be a glowing icon on their eye. And it's going to be right for kin and left for brood. So you see this glowing mushroom here. You see the cave wall looks a little different. Well, when I shoot it, it opens up. Here's some rare shields and a rare device. This is the PR, the Prismatic Resonator. Shoot the wall. Opens up. You'll see it'll close back up here and reform. A little secret there, just for people watching my stream. All right. So I think we're going to have to go search out Balaam because he obviously didn't fall. Oh, see, so now it's night, and it is a little brighter. So I did figure that out. Oh, there he is. He was just way up high. Okay, so I'm going to go and attack directly his rare shield with the prismatic. Fully loaded. So that's the two audio events for left and right. Boy, that's loud. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you see all of his booty came out. Okay, so there's a little test here I want to do. So I want to make sure that I don't pick up his return. So I'm pretty sure that if he picks it up again, it shouldn't crash, but it did once. So let's just do it again. I'm going to pick up this one. And that'll prevent me from picking up his. Alright. Alright, so there is all his goodies. So I'm not going to be able to pick this up. That's his return. So that's not with, which makes you invisible. That's notability, which is 5 times damage, the most of any game that I know of. And then I can pick up all of his devices, which refills all of my... I can pick up his shields, which restore my shields. There we go. Pick up all of his goodies that he had. Now the thing is, if he had something there, like a device that was rare, or holy, I think is our highest. Yeah, holy is our highest. So if it was a holy device, and I picked that up, I would have the schematic for it. He would still have it, but I would be able to have my device be holy now, at least till I log out. So it's kind of a real cool little thing happening in the game. Now let's just switch over to Balaam. I'll show you what happens when you're banished now. There's going to be a banish animation. We don't have any of that stuff done yet. So what he gets is a message that he's been banished. He can turn his head around and look around, but he can't move. He's been banished. And what you're going to do is go to third person. You're going to see yourself being banished. So it's really, there's only a few times we pull you out. One is, what happens when we push G? Okay, nothing. F? Nothing. Okay, just wanted to make sure there's no buttons crashing us here. Okay, so when you push your left mouse button, he now spawns in the pit. And you've got complete control over that. You can see he's got 0 shields. So if Zach was down here, he'd be able to... Actually, no, we can't. We need 2 people to do this. Okay. I was going to say, we'll test the shields, but that's not going to work. So if Zach was here, let's just talk about this. Why did we do it this way? Now, this is a big empty zone we're going to be filling up. We've got all kinds of cool stuff. Ryan, R-I-O-N, Ryan is working on all that stuff. So, but anyways, here's my shield. So if he's shooting at me, that'll protect me. Or we'll just look at my character. I could right-click and be totally protected against everything but stingers and icicles. So if he's got those devices, I could be in trouble. But I might get past him. The other thing is if I touch him with this, I will freeze him, even though I wasn't able to do that today. Now he's got a limited jump. He's got no wings, even though you see wings on his back. We got to deal with all that stuff. Again, early prototype. All right, so actually let's just... Let's do a couple things here. So I'm gonna... Let me just figure out where I am here. Okay, so I spawned there. Means if I take this one... Okay, we're gonna just pretend he's doing all this stuff, and we're just gonna go to the other side. And what would Zach do? Well, Zach would look at the HUD, and he'd realize that he's got his own throne. He's got 35 throne strikes. Trying to see the fountain. I can't see it. So we got a little bit of work to do on that, so everything does show up. I'm just amazed that it actually works as I was imagining it. No. So Brood still has a stronghold. That's what I was looking for. So, oh yeah, because I have Find on my screen. Boy, I'm a dum-dum. It's like I designed this and I forgot what I did. No. Too focused on streaming. Anyways, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take his throne. But that's not going to give me the stronghold. I would have to unlock that. Something we do need to test as well. So anyways, there's banishing. Alright, so while that's happening, I sure hope I'm facing the right way here. I should be. Yeah, here we go. So there's a division here. So now I got a device. So I can pick up a device. I can now change to that device. And now I've got my recoil, so I can move through here a little faster. And there's 2... Was that a... What was that? A pep? Oh, it's a shield. I got a little bit of red shield. 15%.
Of dominations.
I'm just going to show you something here. Oh, so he's captured it. But Brood still own the fountain. This is interesting. Oh, there's our spider. Just static. So Bane's going to pick that up. He's going to come stand in this shrine. You can see now he can take a couple shots. He can come over here and start putting back in his devices. We haven't figured all that out yet, but it sucks to be banished. You don't want to be banished. Okay, so basically my point of this is you can see he's got 44% red shield, and everything's going to max at 44. There, we're all maxed at 44. So when I push enter, I'm returning. And this home shrine here, underneath the home tree. Oh, and look, we've got a bonus here too. I'm going to unlock this. You see that? Oh, I got to turn my camera off for a second. Okay, so you can see that the find is the same shape, the same letter that's on the... So let's unlock this. Now that audio just meant, you see my shields? 48%. So now I've leveled up my shield. So you need to do that after you're banished, otherwise you're going to be weak. And that's the way we're doing the gameplay now. Alright. No, he can't own the fountain. Okay, I'm gonna go look. He can't own the fountain because Zach owns both thrones. Okay, let's just turn my camera back on. There we go. Okay, switching back to Zach. Alright, so Zach should be able... Zach's got 77 throne strikes. Now, there's an interesting... We don't have it in the game yet. There's an interesting thing. If you have a lot of throne strikes and somebody banishes you, it's a risk because those throne strikes will explode and freeze everybody in the area equal to the throne strikes that you hold. Alright, so I should be able to get a... If I don't hit the tree, I should be able to get a stronghold now. Oh, that's right. I'm going to head back home, make an empire again. Once you get the hang of this gameplay, it's really fun. Especially if you get to be the guy that's doing it. Or the gal, I guess. There we go. We got an empire again. Awesome. Now let's just show how balanced this is. So even though Balaam is out, he can come here, collect throne strikes. You'll have to do more collecting than I'm doing, but we're gonna just show this fast. So anywhere you point is where you go. So you want to go up, in the air, high, you can. If you want to kind of sneak down low, use the mountains to hide what you're doing, you can do that. And you can see what I did is exactly what I did. I went up in the air, I came down. There's a couple little neat things here. So you're going to be able to leapfrog, which means that I can place one throne. My buddy can place a throne in front of me. So instead of doing the throne wars where the thrones meet this time, I'm going to just place it all the way across the map. And here we go. So even though he is got an empire and he's the emperor and he's sitting on his throne, on his throne, I've been able to place my throne line all the way over here. And I've got all these powers and he is vulnerable. So I can attack it with my powers. And I can attack it with my... Oh, I don't have any devices. I got one. I got one device. Still got to fix that lightning issue. I spent all day trying to fix it with audio. I couldn't. And Brew just won. there we go, back to the menu again, and then it's just as simple. Oh, I am hearing... because he was flying. So there's another little bug. So when he's flying, the Freedom audio's got to go off at the end. So. And then, I mean, you could pick a different character. Let's just do the girls. We were crashing before, so let's give it a try. Yeah, it was crashing right here. Oh, this is awesome.
Hello, gorgeous.
Oh, we're going to crash. There it is. All right, so we pushed it right to a crash. So that we still have an issue there. I'm not sure if that's with the brood or if that's with the females. It must be with the females because I used the brood twice. So anyways, we'll report that crash. So make sure you go to iPlayMore.com, sign up for a video game test of Thunder, and we'll see you next week. And that was good. Thanks for coming along. So that's what I have to show for this week. Next week we'll have more. And honestly, I just can't wait. We got multiplayer, the new map coming, and to invite people in and play with them. That's going to be awesome. So have a great week. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon. It's VindaCator, and I am out.